Hi, my name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. If you had 1 week to spend between London and Paris, how would you do it? How would you be safe? And how would you go about arranging whatever you need to arrange? Well, I'm here to tell you right now. If you had a week to spend between London and Paris, could you even do it? Is it possible? Absolutely. I've traveled as an American, because that's what I am, to both cities multiple times, done the exact same sort of schedule, and what I'm going to do is, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. Whether you do that or not, that's totally up to you, but as a first time being over there and going, wow, this is an incredible international experience, how do I deal with it? I'll tell you that. But first, before we do that, if you wouldn't mind clicking that subscribe button that's in the lower right corner of the video, or scroll down and open up the info window and hit subscribe, that helps this channel, and just your subscription makes it possible for me to keep bringing these videos to you. Thank you. So what I did is, because it's so much information to just download that, I could speak for an hour about going to London and Paris for a week, and you wouldn't want to listen to that. I wouldn't really want to do it, because as you can see here, my notes are multiple pages. So what I'm going to do is break this down to a couple things. First and foremost, when you travel and you're going to do this week in Europe and you're just going to blow through and see all these sites, the first thing you have to know is you're probably going to be very tired and very jet lagged. If you have traveled before internationally, you'll know what the experience is. But boy, the first time you do it, you think you're going to have the flu or something. So just know that when you fly, my cousin's flying in from San Francisco to London, that you're going to be utterly tired. You're going to be totally amped, but about midday, you're like, oh man, I'm dragging butt. Or the opposite happens where you're totally awake at midnight, and that's because of jet lag. From San Francisco to London, that is about, I think it's an 8-hour time difference. You can look on your phone, pull up the clock app, put in the world time, and just get an idea of what the time difference is. London, so right now, if I'm filming this video at, let's say, 2 in the afternoon, in London, it's already 10 at night. So when you go there, you'll be a little bit messed up on time. And that's just normal. One of the keys is do not nap during the day. When you get over there, depending on when you arrive, let's say you arrive at noon, go through the normal day based on your clock, watch, or your phone, and then push it till 10 or 11 o'clock at night, wake up the next day, and then do it again on a normal schedule to them. Simply because if you don't do that, your body just won't adjust very well. Now, traditionally, humans can only adjust about 1 hour time zone per day of adjustment. So if it's only a week over there, you're not even going to completely adjust. Don't stress about it. Just live the experience. When you go to your hotel, you're going to go blah, and then you won't be able to go to sleep. If your flight lands early in the morning, that's great. Hit the road running. I know you'll be tired. Go through the whole experience and go to bed at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock at night. That is the best way to do it. Don't bother with drugs or, hey, I need to take some wake-up stuff or 5-hour energy drink, or don't overdo the caffeine because you'll be so amped and so messed up. Plus the psychology of just experiencing what it's like to be there. You could really hose yourself up. So just go straight up. Keep your diet as clean as you can. Minimize the alcohol consumption, because that can really mess you up too. So what I'm going to hammer is safety, toilets, going into London, Paris, and everything. I'm checking my notes here. So note that you're going to want to bring a battery pack for your phone. Of course, I don't have them, but you're going to need to get one of those PNY battery packs or something. Go to Staples or order on Amazon. I'll put a link below, because you're going to be running around with your phone and using it a lot. Not only to take pictures and video and running around, but to GPS this, because you're going to get lost a couple times, and that's okay. Don't worry about getting lost. That's part of the experience. You're somewhere in London, you're somewhere in Paris. Someone will always be able to help you. Don't worry. But bring an extra battery pack. The little guys, again, check out the link below. And that way you can hook up to your phone, because I promise you, you'll be running your phone out. Now that's another thing. Don't spend a lot of time looking at your phone. You came to these beautiful cities, these incredible countries to see stuff. Don't walk around like this the entire time because you will miss the experience. I've seen people do it. It's super common now where people just spend their entire time actually look, touch, feel, so don't do that. That said, bring that extra battery pack for your phone because it will die. Now here's a great travel hack secret. When you're running around London and Paris, you're probably going to get lost somewhat, and it's a struggle. You get around both cities best using the tube or the underground, as they call it in London, and the metro in Paris. They are the fastest, most efficient way to get around both cities, not taxis. Taxis are more expensive, and traffic can totally wipe you out and kill your time because you only have like 3 days there each, plus your travel day in between. So one of the keys is get the Google Maps app and then go into London, zoom into London, and then download the offline maps. And then for Paris, get the big area where you cover Versailles too. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Download the offline maps and it will make a huge difference for you because now you don't have to rely on data on your phone, which can cost you a lot. Now, depending on the carrier you have, I have AT&T. When you go over there, it can be like $10 a day. Make sure to call up and verify that you're getting a little dry here. Verify that your plan will be supported on international. The rudest thing ever. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use my phone and I can't tweet or Instagram or Pinterest or whatever the heck you want. So make sure your phone works for that. But a great travel hack is use offline maps in Google Maps, and you can go anywhere, use your phone. You don't have to worry about data because it can be really slow. So that's a super good hack. Toilets are a big issue. When you're running around the city, those two cities are not like America where you can pop into a McD's or a Wendy's or a Target or whatever and go use their toilet. They call them toilets or water closets. They don't call them bathrooms over there, and they immediately know you're American. Don't worry about calling yourself an American. Don't pretend you're Canadian. Say, hey, I'm from America when people ask. I have never in the 20 plus years I've traveled like a maniac ever had a problem with, oh, you're an American, cool. People will actually want to chat with you. Hey, Yank, how's it going? Do you want to have a pint? Or would you like to share a glass of wine? People love to chat with you. Does that mean you won't run into rude people? Sure, it happens. They're huge cities. Imagine walking down the street in New York or Chicago. Hey, let's go hang out. What are people going to do? Whoa. Right. Not going to happen. So also, watch out for pickpockets. If there's a large group and all of a sudden this big gathering and people are hanging out, especially musicians, street musicians, be very careful. Pickpockets are professionals. They will clean you out. They will take your passport, your wallet, your money, your phone. It happens. Be mindful. Don't put stuff in your butt pocket. Don't put it in your back pocket. Put it in your front pocket. If you're really worried about it, put a rubber band around your wallet or your phone. Put it in your front pocket. And that makes it much more difficult for people to steal from you. Also, for the ladies, if you decide to carry a purse, and I guess men, if you want to carry a purse, do not carry a big freaking honking purse. Don't carry a big old backpack, even the backpack purse. Get one of those little crossbody guys, a purse that will hold your phone, a little bit of money, and that's it. So that way you can always have it on your side. You can clamp it on your arm because people will run by, not as much as I've seen in New York, and they will try and grab that and rip that off. That said, it's very rare to happen, but it does happen, and especially in the underground, in the London, the underground, the tube, people will do that. People will be in the metro in Paris, and they're looking for tired people to just swipe. It happens. You don't want to have to spend the rest of your trip looking for your passport. Speaking of that, your passport. Make a photocopy of it, scan it, not just in your phone, email it to somebody you trust like your parents. Because if something happens, you're going to need a copy of that to go to the embassy. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it does happen. By the way, trying to find Wi-Fi hotspots in each of these cities, it's painful. They're not that great. Even though they're super modern, don't rely on the Wi-Fi hotspots. Make sure you bring 2 debit cards and 2 credit cards, and tell your travel or your banks and your credit card companies that you're going to travel internationally. I use the Capital One Venture travel card. That is the best. No international fees. Be very careful. When you take money out internationally at the ATM, every transaction could cost you $5+. So if you're hitting the ATM up for $20 and $40 or pounds, it's pounds in England and it's euros in France, you're going to come back and holy crud, I spent $150 on international exchange fees. Yeah, don't do it. When you go to the ATM, take 100 pounds or 100 euros out. Minimize your ATM transactions. Also, if the one thing will whack you like pow are the international exchange fees on your credit card. If you have time, get a credit card with no international fees. There are a couple of those. Also, pay with cash when you can. It makes the experience easier. No place ever should take your credit card into the back and pay. That happens in America, but those countries, they always bring a little reader to you and do the transaction there. Never, ever, ever let somebody take your credit card away from you and charge, because it will get ripped off. Trust me on this one. Okay, so overview. Let's go to London. When you get into London, you're immediately going to fly into London Heathrow, probably. You're going to want to get the Oyster Card. And the Oyster Card allows you, sorry, I'm holding it virtually. The Oyster Card allows you to get onto the London Underground or the Tube and just prepay that card, and you get in and out quick. Because you only have 3 days there, you're going to be blowing through. You don't want to have to spend time getting the machine. Put like 20 pounds on that card. That way you can hit the London Underground, get through it, and blow through. That Oyster Card is totally worth it. You can get that at King's Cross or whatever. It'll take you 15 minutes sometimes in line, but believe me, it's worth it. There is a travel card in London, but if you're not going to be there for a week plus, the Oyster Card is the best way to go. Top sights to see when you see your 3 days in London. The Tower of London is incredible. Super secret. Look for where the twins were buried under the building in the staircase. Trust me, look for that. Super creepy, but way cool. You'll get to see the Queen's crown jewels, the guys with the hats standing there and not responding, the beefeaters. I mean, totally awesome. From there, it's a very short walk to the Tower Bridge. Trust me, pay the money, go up the Tower Bridge, go across, look down on the glass. That is one of the major bridges that was not destroyed in World War II. It's featured in every freaking, when you say, hey, this is London, they always show the Tower Bridge. Then from there, you can go to, if you like scary stuff, go across the Tower Bridge, and right in the same area is the London Bridge experience. It is rated the most scary haunted house experience in the world. Believe me, if you don't like closed spaces and you want a scary experience, solid. From there, catch a lunch, enjoy your time. Now, part of this is not running around like a maniac, but you got to run around like a maniac. There are plenty of street cafes. Stop by. I've never really had a food problem in London. Stop by, pay with cash, try some food. You'll have a good time there. Make sure you get on the underground and go over to Westminster Abbey. Tour Westminster Abbey is incredible. Look for Edward the Confessor's tomb. He's the first guy that kind of built Westminster Abbey. There's more history there, but like 1,000 years ago. Way cool. And that puts you right next to Parliament and Big Ben. When I was there a year and a half ago, Big Ben was still being scaffolded and renovated. For the best photo for Big Ben in Parliament, you had to go across the bridge. That's the best view. That's the most classic. On the Parliament and Westminster Abbey side, the photo isn't as good. Let's see. Big Ben in Parliament. The roundabout from the National Lampoons. Go there. That's been changed, so don't try and do that. If you're not a heavy-duty roller coaster person, skip the London Eye. Kind of boring. It's a real time eater. Go to the British Museum. Free! Did I say free? Way free. Totally cool. You can cruise through there. The Natural History Museum is also completely worth it. So check that out. And also in the British Museum, if you're religious, check out, they do have a thorn from the Crown of Thorns. As far as hotels go, if you're going in July and August, get a hotel now! I stayed at the Grand Trafalgar Square in London. Now, I know you might want to save a little bit of money and stay way out. Don't try that. Stay right in the core of the city. I stayed off, it's like half a block. I mean, literally like 100 feet away from Trafalgar Square. The metro access was right around the corner. It is key that your hotel is real close to a metro access. That way you can get in and run around and do stuff. Don't hop hotels when you're doing this. It's too stressful. Find a base camp, pay it. The Grand at Trafalgar Square, it was like 150 a night. Totally worth it. Beautiful hotel. Don't eat at the hotels though. They're really expensive. Plan on eating a English breakfast. Try it. That's totally cool. And then between Parliament and Trafalgar Square is a pub called the Clarence at Whitehall. I'll put a link below. The sticky toffee pudding is the best. Love it. So try the classic English breakfast. I mean, you'll do that between running around, seeing all those things. You will burn up 3 days immediately. Now, you're going to catch the train from London to Paris. That means you want to use the Channel, or the train that goes under the English Channel 20 plus miles and on to Paris. Buy your ticket now. Get everything arranged in advance, because it's your first time. You're going to really struggle with getting through all that stuff. Believe me, get your hotel now. When you travel in the summer, hotels book out. The Grand was booked up when I checked 2 months in advance. So believe me, get that set. Don't wait. Your time is more valuable than your money up to a point here. Don't stay way out to save a few bucks. You'll regret it. So once you catch the Channel and you get from King's Cross, by the way, if you're a Harry Potter fan, go to King's Cross, platform 9 3/4. There's a sign, there's a store, totally cool. Then when you get on the Channel and you get to Paris in a couple of hours, welcome to Paris. I believe the Channel, or the train goes from King's Cross to Gare Nord. That I'm pretty sure that's where it comes in. Yeah, it goes into the North Station in Paris. Again, make sure you have your hotel already arranged in Paris, because during the summer it's crazy busy. Hotels book up and you're going to be stressing out. I know it's a big city, but during the summer, tough there. If you want to see a bunch of museums in Paris and you want to blow through the lines, especially in summer because the lines at the Louvre are freaking long, look online. I'll put a post or a link. Get the Carte Musée. It's a museum cart. You will be able to, you'll see a big long line to the Louvre, and I think, man, that's like an hour. With the Carte Musée travel hack, you can walk right up to the entrance, show your card, and you can blow past hundreds of people waiting in line. Totally worth it. Again, is it a little more expensive versus paying your way? But believe me, waiting in lines when you only have 3 days in the city, it's a terrible mistake. So I'll put a link there. What else? Let's see. There is the Paris Metro Visit Pass. 1 day is 13 euros. I usually got away with only a couple rides. I never really got up to 13 euros in the train ride, but is it more efficient? Sure. That's your call. If you want to be even more efficient, just get the Metro Pass for zones 1 to 3, and you'll blow through it. Sorry, I've got kind of hair here. The top sites. The Eiffel Tower, of course. But, travel hack, the Eiffel Tower at sunset strobes and sparkles. If you want a totally romantic moment, whether you're with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your dog, you can't take your dog, but whatever, get a bottle of wine, some cheese and some meat, go on the Champ de Mars. It's a huge park at the base of the Eiffel Tower. Sit there and drink your wine, have them open it because you don't have a cork opener. And some guys walk around there and sell the bottles of wine. You're going to pay 40 euros. It's going to be really painful. Go to Rue Claire, the best shopping street in Paris. At least my opinion. I know it's touristy, but you could get a great bottle of wine for $5. You think that's not true? In the US, $5 wine kind of stinks. $5, just say, hey, I like a semi-sweet white wine, blah, blah, blah. They'll tell you at Rue Claire on the street, find the wine shop, the cheese shop, the boulangerie, the fromagerie, the bakery, all those things. Load up, go to Champ de Mars, and have a beautiful moment as the sun sets there. So, you must go see the Louvre. Plan to spend a significant portion of the day there. That place is freaking huge. Bonus travel hack, if you get into the Louvre and go all the way back and all the way down, you can go to Charles the fourth or fifth original castle. The Louvre was actually a castle way back when. Go back there, find it, wander around the original moat. Totally cool. It is not that easy to find. Major things to see at the Louvre. Mona Lisa, of course. They've changed the setup over the years. In the summer, you're going to have to wait in a freaking long line. That's painful. So I don't know what to tell you there. So if you're going to go to the Louvre and you want to see the Mona Lisa, get there number one first thing before they open. Get in that line, get in the queue as they call it. Get in there and book it straight for the Mona Lisa. Do not wait. Oh, I'll do it till the afternoon. It's a huge mistake. The line is mind-blowing. On the way, you can see the Wings of Victory and the Venus de Milo. Totally cool. But believe me, do not wait on the Mona Lisa. Just like get the map and go see it. Blow past everything. I know you want to stop and look. Go see the Mona Lisa first. It's not as big as you think. It's a pretty small painting, but that and the Last Supper are the most famous paintings on earth. Go see it that way. Let's see. Once you do that, then you get out of go from the Louvre to the Tuileries Garden, and then from there you'll see this weird stone obelisk. Napoleon actually brought that obelisk back from Egypt when he conquered Egypt. So that's real legit Egyptian stuff. From there, you can set off for the Champs-Élysées. Oh, walking on the Champs-Élysées. And if you want to check out some shopping, notice stores have security now because of the 2015 Paris attacks. Watch out for that. The Notre Dame, because you're going to stay right in the middle of Paris. It's a place called Ile Cité. The Latin Quarter is my favorite place to stay. The food there for dinner, because it's all touristy junk. The pastries are really good. Go find someplace else away from the core of the city. Ile Cité is the little island in the Seine River where the Notre Dame is. Yes, I know it burned down. Check out the outside of the building anyway. Stay right there. I'll put a link to the Hotel Eugene or Hotel Le Rive. Again, book that hotel now. If you can stay on the river, freaking gorgeous. Walk on the Seine. Don't take the boat tour. It's a waste of your time. Make sure to get the Sainte-Chapelle. That's on Ile Cité as well. The stained glass in there is just like overload. Spectacular. Freaking-tacular. If you have time, get to the Jardin Luxembourg. That's another incredible garden. By the way, when you're getting out of the Louvre, and hey, it's about lunchtime, if you go to one of the cafes right by the Louvre and you get a Coke, and it's a little can, that's going to cost you over $10 for a can of Coke. One of the things that the Parisians are really hot on is sparkling water or water with gas. Go with that. If anywhere you eat around there, you're going to pay a fortune for a Coke. Water in general is very safe in Paris and London, but I always prefer to do bottled stuff. And again, finding a restroom in Paris is a problem. So manage yourself accordingly. Also, if you like catacombs, there's a cool catacomb you can go to. It's on the Carte Musée. I would say as your second visit, do that. If you're claustrophobic, don't bother. But if you really want to check out the cool underground catacombs, highly, highly recommended. If you want to see the most famous paintings, and at least in France, Amsterdam probably has a better collection. Go to the Musée d'Orsay. It's an original train station. It's huge. And all the famous paintings are hidden up in the top floor, kind of behind this awning. You'll look all around, you'll not see anything. Dang it. So make sure if you decide to go the painting route and you go to the Orsay, make sure you get up and you really sleuth around because you can miss it. Rodin's The Thinker, the guy sitting in The Thinker, is also in that area. Let's see, and the Pantheon, if you really want to hit it, the Pantheon. Between those two things, that'll eat up 2 or 3 days. And then you must get to Versailles. That will eat up 2/3 of one of your days in Paris. Yes, Versailles is outside of Paris, but thus far, of all the places I've traveled in Europe, is the most beautiful, spectacular palace in Europe, hands down. Now, one of the things is if you go into the Hall of Mirrors, like now you buy a mirror at Walmart, but back then when Versailles was being built, Louis XIV and all those guys, mirrors were extremely expensive and hard to make. In fact, you'll see the mirrors don't look that great. But back then, if you wanted to show how rich you were, the Hall of Mirrors is insane. Make sure you buy your ticket before you get to Versailles. Otherwise, you'll wait in another line. I don't remember if the Carte Musée covers Versailles. Check on that. But make sure that you are prepared with a ticket so when you get to Versailles, boom, you get right in. I don't think the garden tour is worth it. I mean, unless you really stroll gardens, because when you're on the second floor and you look way back there, the garden at the Louvre is insane. I mean, it's just stupid huge. You can get to the base of the garden before going to the back, but don't spend a lot of time there. Cruise through the Versailles Palace, take your photographs, and then get back out of there. Eating choices near the train station, it's okay. Let's see, stay in the Latin quarter. Oh, and you'll notice that when you look on maps, get the little metro map that has all the metro lines over Paris at the metro station. That's the best one. Just the general map that shows the lines is totally worthless because you don't know where stuff is. Your phone's not going to be that helpful. Find the metro map that shows the metro lines all over the city. That is totally worth to get. Let's see. Note too that for breakfast, Europeans and especially Parisians eat cold cuts of meat and cheese and some juice, and then yogurt. Totally worth it, like Hotel Eugene, Hotel Reeves. Almost done here. That's what they serve. Get the hotel with the breakfast included. Also, be careful. If you get a cheap hotel in Paris, bed bugs, fleas. It happens. Been there, so be very careful. But get a hotel with breakfast in Paris because you'll be able to go down. It's included in the price. Power chow, eat as much as you can. Make sure to go to pastries on Rue des Arts. Correct, I'll put a link below. Just by the fountain in the metro station, just a block or two off of the Notre Dame where I stay at Hotel Eugene. There's a great pastry place right across the street. Note, all this said, August can actually be very empty in Paris because that's when the Parisians take their vacation. So you may have problems. Also, sometimes on Mondays, that was my experience in the off season, stuff is closed. You will have a very difficult time finding places to eat. So plan ahead. Ask the hotelier, hey, are there any days closed? Because you might be like eating from the dime store. So I know this was super intense and ultra long, but I'll put my notes below just so you can check all that out. A week in London and Paris will be like a blowtorch. Take plenty of pictures, but remember, touch stuff, experience it, breathe it in, and all that craziness. Do sit at a cafe, do eat, chat with people, because they're curious about you. But do note, because if you're there in the summer, there are going to be a lot of Americans and other tourists hanging out. So just watch your stuff. And also, there is one other warning. I don't know who's figured it out, but every time I have, not every time, but I have friends who travel to Europe, I always get these emails. Hey, this is John. I'm in London, I'm in Paris, I'm wherever, and I'm stuck. My stuff's been stolen. Please email me money immediately. Do not get caught by that scam. I don't know how they figure it out, but tell all your friends and relatives who you want to know that you're there. If you get an email that says, hey, I'm Wendy and I'm stuck in London, they stole my passport, please wire me money immediately. It's a scam. It's happened constantly. So just as a last heads up. Hopefully that was a crazy blowtorch. I know that was a lot of information to consume. I'll put all this information below so you can read it more. And the most important thing is have a good time. Interact with people. Talk with people. It will make the world much smaller because what you see in your phone and TV is not the real world. When you're sitting there talking with people, just take in the experience. Also, a lot of people might ask you, hey, what do you think of the president of your country? Just be careful what you say regardless of your political standing. because people can get pretty cranked up. Say, hey, whatever president I've had at the time I've traveled, whether I've agreed or disagreed, I never bash on them. Just trust me on this one. That can cause you more problems down the line. Don't do it. Just say, the president's fine. I don't have a particular opinion. And then you'll stay out of a lot of trouble. Believe me. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker and professional traveler, trying to bring you the best possible information so you have the greatest time ever on your travels and wherever you might be. Please like and comment on the video. Scroll to the bottom, let me know how I'm doing. To see all my notes, hit that little arrow to the bottom right of the video. It'll expand it out. I'll put the links of the battery, the books, everything here, so that'll help you out a lot. Also, to help support my channel, just hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell if you want. But hitting the subscribe button really helps me out in supporting this channel to make it happen. And also, if you feel like it, toss me a little donation on Venmo and PayPal. Thank you very much for watching.